Oh, great. Well, there goes my opening sequence. That's what you get for using the old nitrate film. I'll have to come up with a new opening sequence. I might set up a Patreon page if you want to help out with buying me a new opening sequence, or even if you can just chuck us a couple of dollars and just buy me a coffee just to say thanks for these videos. That would be greatly appreciated, and I'll leave a link in the description. Today, this is the next unboxing video from the Australian Model Railway Group on Facebook. Can't remember how many we've done. I think we've done 3 or 4, so whichever this one fits in with the sequence. Today we're actually going to be looking at some of the new or rerun S trucks and derivatives and that SDS have released. These were released about a month ago. It was actually prior to them going overseas, but they sent my order in, but other things got in the way, and that's why I haven't had a look at them just yet. There's a few to go through, and there's more available than just what I show here. These ones are still being marketed under the Austrains Neo branding, but they come out of SDS, and they're available either direct from SDS or through all the good dealers anywhere around in Sydney, Melbourne, up into Queensland and further afield. They should all have these in stock by now. There's actually 2 lots that we're going to look at. The first is the latest in their single pack S trucks that they've released over the years. The ones I've got here are just the new ones, just packs 113, 114, 115, and 116. This brings the total of the single packs to 16. The other ones are a combination of there's some blue wire train wagons, some other way and works wagons, and some just plain grey ones. They've also been rerun when these new ones have come out, so all 16 of the single packs should now be available. Those other ones sold quite well, and I expect that these ones will go just as well. In addition to these, there was a rerun of some other packs. I'll leave a screenshot. They've rerun the 5 packs that they've done, 5 wagons, and there was 3 lovely packs of all coloured ones. There was orange ones, just with an orange door. There was another one with like a cream coloured T on it. They're all specialised ones, a lot of sleeper wagons, a lot of way and works wagons. But they've had a rerun of those. Once again, they sold really well. They're lovely and colourful. So they should also be available either direct or through the dealers. So this video today is going to be kind of in 2 parts. Well, first of all, we'll look at the new, these 4. And then we'll also have a look at some of the Shunters trucks that they've produced. These are brand new models, haven't been run before. There's 7 in the range, and I've got 4 of them here to look at. Once again, nice colourful trucks. There's some absolute beauties in there, so we'll get to those in a few minutes. Haven't actually had most of these. I've had one of them out of the packet a few weeks ago. You've probably seen the photo. I think it's still the header photo actually on the group of my favourite little X200 with one of these behind it. All the other ones have only just taken the plastic off them, so this is the first real opportunity that I've had to look at them also. And then in addition to this, there is one other special guest wagon, which I'll grab out at the appropriate time and just talk you through that one. So, as I said, these are part of the 16 single packs that are available. let me get them out of the box is probably the easiest. Line them up here on the mat, and then we can have a closer look at them. I'll be back in just a moment. Okay, and we're back, and we've got the 4 trucks out of their boxes. They all come individually packaged in the normal plastic cradle with a plastic lid. These ones haven't got any soft plastic in them, but they fit quite neatly into the insert there, and they're quite well protected. So the 4 that we're looking at today, pack 113, is an Indian red standard S-truck, standard composite S-truck. They're interesting, these S-trucks, because they're you've got the metal end section and the wooden door, so they're a composite construction, wooden floor. But these are the more common S-trucks that we've come to know. This one, these are all Wayne Works type wagons. This is numbered L142, and it's got the white corners. I've seen quite a few photos. A lot of the Wayne Works wagons, they seem to paint the corners in a different colour to just to differentiate them, I suppose, from the standard ones. Lovely crisp printing in that there. It's a materials truck, and it's in Indian red, still got the black underframe, and all the lovely safety chains and everything like that, or the side chains and everything for the door that the team at SDS have put on these. So that would look nice, sitting in the depot or on a siding, or they transfer them around by normal freighters and that. Second one, pack 114. This is L788. It's actually labelled there from Loco Narrabri. Sorry, Narandra. Yeah, I have to get my glasses replaced. Yeah, Loco Narandra. Yellow composite truck. Lovely the way that the diagonals there have been highlighted in black. It's got black on the top there on the ends. All the door hinges and everything are all highlighted there in black. Quite a nice looking little wagon. It almost looks English with all the bright colours and that. Amazingly small printing there on the chassis underneath. But another nice one. Could be sitting around in a depot or whatever. Third one to look at, pack S116. Actually, I got my boxes around the wrong way. 115. There we go. 115 Wagon L5X. Marked there, large Coke only. To Loco Workshops at Everley. So it's got some very fine printing and that on the side of it, all over wagon grey, more conventional colour. Once again, composite S-truck. The last one is 116, pack 116. It's W856, and it is marked return to the foundry at Everley, and it's got these delightful little green corners on it, once again to denote that it's a Wayne Works type truck. Interesting, this one, in that it's a composite construction, in that it's got the wooden door and it's got the metal on the sides there, but at some point it's been rebuilt and actually has timber ends. Both ends there showing the timber planking. You can see it there if I get the light shining on it. Nice little touch. SDS have gone to a fair bit of trouble with these when they were tooling them up, that they've done a number of inserts in the tooling, so it allows them to make some variations as per the prototype, whether it be timber ends or the timber sides and everything, which we'll look at in a minute. So that's the 4. That's the 4 new ones. There is another 12 that have been rerun. Have a look on the website. These won't last long. The other ones, because they're nice and colourful and that, they tend to sell out pretty quickly. So I'm sure that these won't stick around for long either. So once again, we've got pack 113 is the Indian red one. 114 is the yellow one with the black highlights. 115 all over wagon grey. And 116 is wagon grey with the green corners, and it's got a variation in that it's got the timber ends. So that's the S-Trucks. Let me clear these ones off, and then we'll move on to the Shunters trucks. Back in a moment. Okay, I mentioned that there would be a special guest wagon. What I'm actually referring to is it's actually one of the ones that's been run before, but I hadn't picked it up at the time, but I've just grabbed one this time. It's one of the wood-sided body S-Trucks. There's 4 of these in the rerun. They'd be packs 105, 6, 7, and 8. So this is 105, pack 105. So if I just grab him out, this actually gives you a good indication of how they're packaged. Really nice sturdy boxes and that lifts out, shells in 2 pieces, and the wagon just comes straight out as easy as that. So it keeps it nice and safe, but they're really easy to get in and out of their boxes. Sometimes getting stuff in and out of the boxes is quite a pain. Now the reason I wanted to open this particular one is I think these are a little unknown, for want of a better word. I know I had to check up exactly where these came in and why. The S-Trucks, and in fact some of the other open wagons even before, got an interesting history in that most of these, the S-Trucks actually started off in steel. There's some delightful models that were put out by Trainorama a few years ago of the steel S-Truck, and it's got kind of little rounded corners, and it's quite little bit of a different looking beast. But it seems odd that you would start building open wagons in steel, and then we've progressed through to what we think of as the normal one, which is actually the composite. And then this turns up. This is an all timber body. So we've got wooden door, which is common across all of them. This one, the end sections here are timber. Let me just zoom in. There we go. The end sections here are timber. If I get there we go. If I get the light shining off it just in the right spot there we go. So you can see both ends there are timber, as well as the end of the wagon itself is also timber. And if we look inside, once again, a little bit hard to get the light, but the timber planking and that at SDS have produced the timber planking inside all the way around quite nicely. And obviously all of these have got timber floors. So why do you produce, why do the railways make a steel truck and then a composite truck, and then where do these wooden ones come in? Well, the answer is the steel S trucks, the original ones, started to rust out. I suppose just with normal wear and tear and rain and everything, but also some of the stuff that they carried, they superphosphates and stuff like that, which is would be acidic and would eat into the metal. So that's why they've then gone and produced the composite ones. So the ends were metal. They may have kept the doors timber, I don't know, maybe for weight or something like that. I'm not quite sure about that. But the ends were all metal. Then you've got a couple of odd ones where the ends have been repaired and replaced with timber, as we saw with some of the other wagons there. And then at some point, they've gone and produced a wagon that's got all timber body. So as it turns out, these were produced during the war. The S trucks were built over a long period and obviously repaired, and bodies were replaced and everything like that. But during the Second World War, because of the limitations on the steel and that they could get hold of, or that they could afford to use for the railways with the war effort on, what they did was they produced a number of these wagons on a standard steel underframe. So they've still got the same steel based underframe like the others. I suppose it would have been a very backward step to have tried to produce a wooden underframe again. But where they could save some steel in the bodywork, they did. So these ones are an all timber body, just obviously with metal corners, handrails and hinges and stuff like that. So I think these are misunderstood or overlooked by many. There's actually a couple of these wooden ones in some of the 5-packs that SDS have produced over the past couple of years. So you might even have a couple and not realise, because at first glance, from a distance, they just look like an S truck. But when you pick them up and have a closer look, they've got all this lovely detail. And obviously when you weather these are going to weather quite different. Whereas the steel, the composite ones, all the way around here, obviously ended up quite rusty. You would have to then weather these to a lighter grey colour to show the weathered timbers. It wouldn't be appropriate to have the end timber detail there all rusty. So I think everyone needs a few of these in their roster. So there are four of these wagons available separately. I don't think there are any wooden wagons currently available in the 5-packs. There were 5-packs with 2 or 3 timber wagons in, but I don't think any of those are currently available. So pick up a couple of these, throw them in with the others, make sure that you weather them differently. But I think these are sadly overlooked. And once again, SDS have gone to a lot of trouble in tooling the new sides, the new ends, and then as we've seen with the other wagons I just had out, and as you'll see in a moment with one of the Shunters wagons, they've incorporated the wooden rebuilt end into those, so they can kind of mix and match and produce a number of different wagons from a common set of tooling. So just wanted to bring that one to your attention. As I said, I had to do a little bit of research to find out where it fitted in, but these were a wartime build. I suppose after the war was over and things returned back to normal, they probably went back to building and repairing them as composite wagons. But make sure that you've got a couple of these in your roster. So we'll be back in a moment and we'll have a look at the Shunters wagons. See you soon. Okay, so we've got this selection of Shunters trucks. These are Shunters trucks that are based on an S truck. There were a couple of different versions. There was another one that was based on the chassis of a LCH coal hopper, and they most often just have a handrail right around, but these are the S truck version. There are 7 in the range that SDS have bought out. I've just got a selection. I've obviously grabbed the more colourful ones. I think the other 3 are all variations of this one on the end in the overall wagon grey. So we've got, the first one is a Pack 201. All of the Shunters trucks are in the 200 series. All of the other ones are in the 100 series. So Pack 201, Shunters wagon L 724. It is a composite, or it's been based on a composite S truck, had the doors removed, and the shunter steps and everything put on the side of it there. Nice sharp printing. These have all got genuine KDs. This one's got metal spoke wheels. I think some of the others have got the disc wheels. The handrails here for the shunter to hop on and off are metal. They're like a metal wire, so they're quite hardy. They're not going to just snap off, but if they do get a bit of a knock, they are going to bend over and you can just straighten them again rather than snapping off if it was made of plastic or something like that. So that's a smart little wagon. These were used for two reasons. The shunters could ride on them if they needed to move some distance down the yard, but they were also used just for additional braking, especially when you had a maybe an X200 or 73 class or something like that. If they had to move a couple of big heavy wagons, this just provided a couple of extra wheels on the track with brakes, just to make it a little bit easier for them to get around safely. So that's L724 in the wagon grey. Next one, well, they certainly run easy. Next one, L118 in rather smart yellow. Now this one, a little bit like one of the other wagons we just looked at, this has actually got a timber ends on it, fully tooled up ends there, timber planks inside and out. So these have got all rivet detail on the inside and everything, so they're quite nice. White handrails there, black chassis. This one's also got the nice metal tired spoke wheels that they had. The third one to look at, this is probably my favourite, Pack S205. It's L980, and it's in Indian red, but it looks like the workshop guys have just gone to town on this one. It's obviously been inspired by the yellow lining and that on the Indian red logos, but that just looks like, it's just the duck's guts. That's really, really cool, the way that's been painted up, and it's been reproduced beautifully by SDS in this model. Interesting also, this one, and backed up by the prototype photos, the handrails here are actually Indian red. You'd think that they'd be white for safety, but I suppose back in the 70s and 80s, and that's safety wasn't what it is now. But looking at a colour photo of this particular wagon shows that it does in fact have Indian red handrails there, or grab rails. Underframe's black. You've got the steps on the side of it and everything there. And this one, once again, is fitted with spoke wheels. Very free-running wagons. All the underfloor detail and that is incredible on these. Seems a shame to have them sitting upright on the track all the time when you can see all that lovely stuff underneath. So, and the last one is just an overall Indian red. It's Pack 207, wagon L274. It is a composite wagon. It's got metal ends, metal sides there. The wooden doors have been taken off. But it's interesting, and it's overall Indian red, including the W-irons, the chassis and everything, and the steps. They've all been painted in the Indian red. Once again, it's got Indian red grab rails there, which you wouldn't get away with these days. This one's also actually marked as a match truck. So this would be ideal if you've got a mixture of couplers. Some people might run 3-link couplers, or even the sergeants, which I kind of like. the Sergeant's couplers, which are not compatible with the genuine KDs. But you could have this set up and leave the genuine KD at one end and something else at the other end, and actually use it as a match truck when you're shunting, or I suppose even running some trip trains and that. So nice overall Indian red. These would obviously look great if they were, weathered up a little bit. I suppose they didn't get too grotty, but you could go to town on them, and you could weather them up to your heart's content. But they're all nice little units. Have them, even just sitting around in a yard, or sitting around in a depot, wherever. But I don't think you can have too many S trucks, and the Shunters wagons also, I think they're great. So that's 4 of the 7. As I said, the other 3, have a look on the website. All the details are there. But off the top of my head, they're all derivatives of this, just in the overall wagon grey. So we'll move these out of the way, and we'll wrap the video up. Be back in a moment. So there we have it. We've had a look at the various new wagons, the various new S trucks that have just been released by SDS. We've had a look at we had a quick look and talk about the wooden S truck. These are a rerun. There's 4 of those available. But I think everyone needs a couple of those in their roster, because they just give you a bit of variation, especially when they're weathered up. They'll look quite nice. And obviously we had a look at the S truck version of the Shunters wagon. Perfect match to X202. That would look great sitting around on your layout. I'll put a few bits of video, just a closer up look at these wagons on the turntable. There's a lot coming. This, I think, is just the start of quite a flood of new products that we're about to see in the second half of 2024. A lot of the manufacturers have obviously had delays with products coming out of the factories out of China. Those delays are out of their control, and we have to understand that sometimes delays occur. None of the manufacturers purposely delay stuff. That's just a complete furphy. No one's going to delay products. It's all about getting the products out and getting them into the customer's hands, and obviously getting their money back for them. So they're not going to delay it, disadvantage themselves. So don't come down too hard on any of the players and that when things are delayed. But just looking at the stuff that's been announced from SDS that is coming in the second half of this year. Obviously these S trucks have already arrived. There's reruns of some of the refrigerated containers. There's some brand new Victorian open wagons, LXs and variations and that are probably arriving about now. So they'll be available very shortly. They've got 10,000 gallon tankers in a whole stack of new liveries and that coming. The K trucks, the 22-foot trucks, the Ks and the RUs and all that are imminent. And a whole stack of other stuff. I think there's some passenger wagons, probably the VUB sets, and that might just scrape in at the end of 2024. So a whole stack of stuff coming from them. And then if you have a look at the other manufacturers, Precision have got a whole stack of stuff that's due to arrive very soon, or has just arrived. You've got On Track Models, they've got their 82 class rerun I think it's almost on the water. They've got louver vans and banana vans and stuff like that coming. So they've got a whole stack of stuff that they're working on. And most of the manufacturers, but I think the dam seems to have broken at the moment, and we're going to see probably more stuff released in the second half of this year than we have for a very long time. I think it'll probably then settle down, and we'll get it back to the normal kind of announcements and releases. But so much stuff seems to have been held up with the factories, but all of a sudden things are coming through to completion. Oh, obviously the eagerly awaiting the K class, the Victorian K class from SDS also. So save up your pennies. There's lots and lots of fantastic stuff. We really don't know how well off we are with the quality of this ready to run stuff that's come out, and some of the stuff that's coming that you would never have imagined would come out in ready to run. Some of the KB bulk mail vans that SDS are producing, there was only 2 of them. They're doing 5 different livery variations. You know, if you got a kit and you could put the kit together, you were doing well. We would never have thought that such a small number of coaches would come out in ready to run. So show your appreciation for all of the manufacturers, and the hobby is better off for it. As I said, we don't fully grasp how well off we are with the stuff that's come out and that is coming available over the next short period. We'll wrap it up there. I'll throw some videos in, just giving some close-ups of these wagons. Hit the like, hit subscribe. Check out the link to Patreon there if you can help out, either just with the running of this channel, or even just to buy me a cup of coffee or something like that. I appreciate any help. Not sure what's next. We'll have to wait and see what the mailman brings. But as soon as some new stuff shows up, I'll get it so you can have a look at it up close and personal and that, and get it on the AMRG YouTube channel. Thanks for watching once again, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.